to see if he was going to do L-Jack in the back. And I knew at this point I was going to go ahead and pressure with Mini Pekka on the right side and use the Ram Rider, pull the Lumberjack, and use the Ram Rider to slow that balloon down. So you can see here it was, you know, pretty good. I was still a little nervous because the Ram Rider was going to get out of range. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well as always. Your boy's back with another Clash Royale video. As you can see, I have replays here in front of me. Unfortunately, OBS decided to put all my settings back to default. So my commentary, my mic was not set like it normally is. I don't know if in some update it decided to do that, but it wasn't cool. I had a really good video for y'all, so I don't want to redo it. I mean, these last two battles especially were pretty epic. Yeah, bringing a new deck to you guys to some degree as well. So I was really happy, and then I went to go edit the video, and I see that the commentary was gone. We're going to go ahead and skip this first replay. The guy winded up tapping out, but these other two, we're going to jump into this first one. Of course, obviously, he's running the typical Lumberjack Balloon kind of a push, but the way I leveraged the Ram Rider, obviously the Hunter against Balloon, but stuff like that. Once I knew what his push was, but anytime you see Lumberjack in the back, it's most likely, not that they can't be Golem, it's most likely going to be Balloon. So put a little bit of pressure on the right side. I knew I was going to use the Fisherman to pull the Lumberjack away so that the Balloon would stay out of range. I had to zap so I could cycle to the Hunter. And he was able to get a hit there, but at this point I knew in my mind I was going to go ahead and run Ram Rider. So anyways, continue the pressure. That's the one thing I do like about this deck. I think not only am I seeing what he's going to counter with, but you can also have this dual lane pressure, make him use some elixir and things like that. Just be very conscious of the amount that you're using, obviously. So I wanted to clean up the Valkyrie. He, used a zap, which is good for us, and the Dark Goblin still gets two shots there, so it's awesome. So at this point, I was going to wait a little bit. Didn't know he had Wizard, of course, but I was going to wait to see if he was going to do L-Jack in the back. And I knew at this point I was going to go ahead and pressure with Mini Pekka on the right side and use the Ram Rider, pull the Lumberjack, and use the Ram Rider to slow that balloon down. So you can see here it was, pretty good. I was still a little nervous because the Ram Rider was going to get out of range. I did drop Hunter. I probably could have passed on that. But I'll at least be able to get a couple of hits on the Mini Pekka. Make that one hit. Yeah, that's right. So, again, I was going to use the Dark Goblin to kind of... I knew I was going to sacrifice, but go ahead and take care of that Mini Pekka, of course. And was going to just continue to play patient. Yeah, it gave me the well played. Hey, because, I'm not going to lie, man. Not going to, hey, it was pretty well played. Just saying. All right, so, again, at this point... I didn't know he had Wizard. I was trying to do a little tricky there. I don't think I would have got him anyways. He would have caught the deep barrel anyway. So, yeah, going to do the same thing. Going to go ahead and pull that Lumberjack. And I knew the Balloon was coming as well. So I was going to slow it down again. Try to take care of that Valkyrie. Slow the Valkyrie down. She will not be able to catch up to the Ram Rider before it gets hit. I zap to make sure I get that hit. Almost got a second. Dark Goblin will clean up that Mini Pekka, enough, I guess. We're going to clear all that up, bring that down. I actually didn't want the Fisherman to do that, but it's all good. So now I was going to keep the pressure up. I knew he had arrows, of course. Going to try to be a little tricky there. But obviously with arrows, the radius is, pretty large. I mean, you have to be seriously not paying attention to miss that. So same thing here. Kind of bring it all back. Slow it all down. Had to clean that up and bring that down. I was going to continue the pressure. I wish I had one more elixir there. I would have definitely dropped the Goblin Barrel, as you can see, but Mini Pekka locked on. Threw the arrows down there as well, so pretty happy about that. Again, sorry guys that the mic stopped working on me, but alright, anyways, let's just jump into this last one here. And then I'll show you guys the deck, of course. I mean, obviously you can see it here, but just so you guys see it close up and give it a try yourself. Now, this one was a little bit tricky. In fact, this was a really, really close battle. Mortar you got to be a little careful with. Expo's one thing, but Mortar, if you get too close to it, obviously it will no longer lock on to whatever you're trying to defend troop-wise with, and it'll lock onto your tower, so if it's within range. And Magic Archer, I don't care what level it is. You don't play it right, he can shred you. Obviously, I want to activate King Tower with this, but I knew I was getting a little bit too much damage. I still, regardless, had to do it. So, obviously, Hog Rider wasn't healthy enough to activate. So, try to take the Magic Archer out. Obviously, you don't want it to lock on. Play a little patient. I want to say here, do I go in with the Ram Rider Goblin Barrel? No, I think I paused. At one point in our match, I think I do. I was at a pretty bad cycle. I was a little nervous, actually, at this point because, I mean, I had nothing really for his Pekka and this push. I mean, look at this right here. The fact that I actually escaped this, and then he had a mortar locked on, so I knew that the wizard was going to get some shots, and I knew the mortar was going to lock on. The tower was semi-healthy enough to take a little bit of damage, and I was going to go ahead and take out Dark Goblin. I don't know why he didn't run bats. Yeah, he's probably, you know, saving some elixir as well, not overcommitting, but... So at this point, I was like, all right, I definitely got to play a little patient. The main thing I worried about was, of course, the Hog Rider, but that mortar. So I think I was waiting for him to drop his Big Mama Pekka in the back, which he did not do. If he did, I still did it, actually. I wanted to make this push here. We get a pretty good amount of damage, but of course we have dual lane pressure coming now. Now if he has his Hog Rider coming, which he has selected, which I knew that the Magic Archer would lock on, I was going to let that happen, and I was going to wait for the Hog Rider to come down. And I was going to, and I think he actually got me there because I was assuming it was going to be the other lane. So I tried to slow some of this stuff down again, and even kite the Pekka back a little bit to get a little more damage. Just don't want her to hit. Try to clean it up, which we were able to do. I obviously got some pretty good damage there on the right side. But, you know, obviously arrow zap will end it, but I still have to be very, very careful. I wanted to be one tile over with the Fisherman to obviously pull the Hog Rider as opposed to walk into it, because obviously look how close it got. One mortar lock, and it's going to be GG. So I had to be really careful here, which I knew he allowed me to take this tower with the anticipation he was going to drop that mortar. So at this point, I just did everything I could to continue to take that damage and hoped. And I knew he didn't have a bigger spell, so GG. So I really wish I could have brought this live commentary to you guys, but hopefully you guys understand, you know, try to not let it happen again. I usually like pre-listen to my recordings before. But yeah, anyways, got to sit in the next league. You know, I'll keep playing with this deck, but here it is right here, guys. Like I said, the first battle was also a dub, you know, just I think halfway through, just made him tap out. So, but yeah, like I said, one of your main defensive or counters, I guess, is this here. Obviously, the mini Pekka, you know, as well. One of your main win condition pushes here. You got a little bit of a bait aspect. You can replace or arrows with poison if you want, but I wanted to kind of keep this at a 3.4 elixir cost, so you can kind of cycle back to the Ram Rider quicker. The only thing I would say is against like beatdown decks, you might struggle a little bit. So I debated Barbarians, but I really couldn't make that work. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until the next one, have a good one and peace out.